It's Friend of a Friend City, the improv comedy podcast where we get to meet some friends of friends. Hello and welcome to Friend of a Friend City. I'm Heather, and today I'm joined by my new friend Marcel. Marcel, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here.
You're in Brisbane. It's very exciting.
I'm in Brisbane. I'm soaking it up. A few days ago, I had food poisoning, so I'm thrilled to be anywhere.
Anywhere without food poisoning.
Yeah.
That's great. And you've brought along a friend of yours.
Well, I mean, I know that's the name of the podcast, but this is sort of less of a friend and more of like a foreboding spectre.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you introduce them for me?
Well, I just call them Shadow, and they keep warning me of things in both my future and things I should never forget in my past. So I'm sort of wish I wasn't bringing the mood down so much.
Wow, quite a...
But a shadow, if you want to sort of step out into the light, as it were.
Yes.
Hello, Shadow.
Got to chill up my spine.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm having a great day. I've been just reminiscing all the good times and the bad times.
The ashes are falling out of their mouth.
Oh, you've made a huge mess.
Yeah, sort of a sulfuric sort of smell. Sorry.
What
Sorry,
can I
Heather.
say? I've
It's
got
just who
what
you
I've
are.
got. It's who I am.
So when did the shadows start following you, Marcel?
Yeah, it's sort of one of those things where you sort of try and think back and you go, I feel like they were always there. Like in the corners, like I look at old photos, like family photos, and I'm smiling, but then like I'll look in the corner and I can see like a mirror and I can see Shadow's face. Like just, and it was always there. It was always there.
Always there.
I have always been there. Yes, it's true. I used to be a shadow in the womb.
In the womb.
In the womb.
Yeah, Shadow sings a song, Womb Shadow, and it like she.
Is it a
it's
bit
funny.
of a? Is it a
Yeah.
bit of a Oh, what's the Neil Young song?
It's a Cat Stevens.
Oh,
but
Cat Stevens,
That's
yeah.
fine. It's fine. Yeah, and but, I mean, Shadow, you can tell that you can share this if you want to. That used to be Cat Stevens' Shadow for a little while.
I did. And then Cat, well, he sang a song about it. He went into the desert on a horse with no name. And I don't know if you know about the desert, but it's bright. There's sunshine all the time.
Not good for you.
Not good for shadows. I had to find small rocks, things, cacti to hide behind, and I said, eventually, Cat, this is not working out for me. And I went to the darkest place I could think of. The womb.
It is
womb,
one
a
of the
new
darkest.
womb.
Yeah,
Wow.
new womb. So I'm sort of here more for like advice in a way, Heather. In that, like I'm just going to try and whisper this to you,
Yeah.
because like Shadows famously can't hear whispers, but
What?
yeah, see,
Exactly.
I'm trying to sort of shed the shadow.
Go on.
I want more light in my life. I want to, because the shadow's always like a bit of a downer and like warning me about things I shouldn't be doing and questioning my life choices and stuff like that.
Are you a little bit worried though that you're going to lose a little bit of path in your future? Has any of their advice been good?
Okay. Well, we'll take it for a little test drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ask Shadow for some life
Hey,
advice.
Shadow.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you're still here.
Oh,
Great.
yes.
Still spitting ash.
Never leave.
Never leaves.
It's sort of some bile coming out of the corner. Let me just wipe that with my napkin.
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. Right in the corner.
Oh, you're very kind to Shadow at
Well,
least. It's-
it's what the vibe is. The vibe, like I'll bring Shadow to house parties and stuff, like not invited, but you're just there.
I come.
Yeah, and
You love me.
well, some of my more metal friends they get into Shadow a
Yeah.
lot. Like
Oh.
that, like Shadow's appeared on a bunch of different of their albums. Album covers.
Megadeth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Famous.
Very.
So, what's something that's going to happen to Marcel in the future?
Whoa!
Oh.
You're gonna get straight to like
Straight into it.
premonitions.
Yeah.
Like some of these premonitions are like just for me and Shadow to hear.
Okay, is there any you can share then?
Well, I'll keep the spicier ones to myself, shall I,
Okay,
darling?
look into your ash pile and see what it says.
Okay, let me have a
Divination.
gaze.
Shaking it off.
Shake it off, shake it out. What do I see? Oh, that's lovely. This is a good one,
It's
Marcel.
not going to be good.
You are going to get a brand new coat of hair that grows from your own back, surprisingly early for your age.
Most of the premonitions are haircuts. Yeah.
Silky.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to know it's going to happen. Was it going to happen anyway, or is Shadow really predicting? Is Shadow
Well,
not predicting as much as like molding your future?
Well, this is the thing. It's sort of like and have you seen The Matrix? Yeah, in the Matrix, there's this oracle, and the oracle didn't want to tell Neo that he was the one because it might influence him becoming the one. But I have been going through Shadow's phone. Shadow has a smartphone. It's a rare thing for
You're connected, Shadow?
I'm tech savvy.
And also, it's sort of part of the deal of if we're going to be in this sort of relationship that I'm allowed to go through Shadow's phone.
Complete transparency.
Yeah, like most Shadows. And I've seen that you've bought a lot of domain names for hair-based products. It feels like you're sort of divining things that you're going to see a profit in.
I think it's healthy to have a hobby and passions. I'm passionate about hair, goats, and
No one wants to buy them.
Oh, I'm before my time. I've told you. My time is coming. It's around about the time you get a haircut. All right? I have things. I have wood in the fire and iron and...
Well, hey, I'd love for you to go out on your own. I think it's time. You left Cat Stevens. It's time you leave me.
What, you haven't gone to the desert? There's plenty of dark in your life.
But okay, so what if I just give you enough money to find your own apartment or something like that?
I need not money. I am a shadow. I am a spectre. I need not cash and money. I just need a human
How did you
life.
pay for your smartphone?
Oh,
I bought it.
You're very kind, Marcel.
Well, it was less of it was more of a hand-me-down. I love to upgrade.
Yeah,
you always be upgrading.
You know, he couldn't be bothered to go to Office Works and recycle his phone.
Okay,
And,
you don't need to punish me for it.
well, I told you about your carbon footprint. That,
It's sort of an icy stare coming in and feeling chilly all of a sudden.
I'm getting a feeling, Marcel, that perhaps you brought me here under false pretenses.
I don't bring you anywhere. You exist as a result of my being, and I want to cast you out.
Ipso facto, you bring me everywhere.
You're fatso.
Oh,
Don't call me fatso.
I've been working on my weight. You know, that's a tender point for me, Marcel.
Oh, I don't want to upset Shadow.
Don't want to upset Shadow.
She sort of has the whole range of evolutions, like Pokemon, into different
okay.
levels.
I do.
It's sort of in you've ever seen the Avengers?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's this character called the Hulk. You might know him as the Incredible Hulk.
Oh, okay.
And
I do know him as the Incredible Hulk.
He says things like, "You wouldn't like me when I'm angry," because he's going to blow up and stuff. So Shadow, have a little snack and just relax, okay?
Okay.
Eat some coal.
Okay. Do you have any hummus?
I think we can find some hummus or at least some chickpeas for you.
I guess.
Don't be a burden, okay? You don't go into someone else's place and start asking about their snack situation.
Okay, Marcel.
We're here as guests to do a podcast.
So Marcel, have you tried anything to get rid of Shadow?
I've tried a few things, positive thinking, but the state of the world isn't really conducive to such things. Asking nicely, money, as you see. But now, I guess part of the reason why I'm here is maybe to see if you might be.
Are you trying to palm the shadow off on me?
Yeah, I would. Yeah. Well, I didn't want to say it. I wasn't going to say it. But what do you think, Shadow? Good candidate?
What? I'm not a piece of meat.
Yeah, exactly. You're the opposite.
Yes.
Yeah, you're the absence of meat.
The absence of meat.
Yeah.
I float around like a tender breeze. I
Yeah.
can't believe you're trying to dump me.
I'm not dumping you.
I can't believe you're trying to dump the shadow on me.
It's not dumping. It's an upgrade, if anything. I'm old news. I'm worn out. There's your whole being. You feed off negative energy.
I do.
And I'm sort of just spent. I don't feel anything anymore.
But the older you get, the worse you get. And then it's beautiful. It's bountiful.
Oh, you think you can still squeeze enough out of me until I'm a husk?
You are a juicy, juicy grape to me.
You think I still got juice left?
You're very juicy.
I'm sort
It's
of.
nearly a compliment.
Well, there is something. I thought I was depleted, and like it is remarkable, like how quickly like I'm coming around to this new way of thinking. But it's sort of nice to like feel seen. Like I don't know, this isn't like a couples counseling type thing, but
Is it not?
like now that it's being,
If it becomes it, it becomes it.
Okay.
now that we're sort of bringing these things into the light, as it were, not the language that you would.
No, I
prefer.
hate that.
But I mean, you need light to exist.
Wow. That's cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose. I mean, maybe we could talk about some of the things that, like, qualities you do like in me.
Of course.
Besides just the
Juiciness of you. I have many things
What
I
have I
like
got?
about
What have
you.
I got left to offer? Do you think?
You fold a really nice burrito.
You think so?
Really tight.
So sometimes I think I overdo it.
No. When you bite into your burrito, it stays strong.
Yeah.
I've always liked that about you.
Well, but there is some seepage, but you're always underneath the burrito to catch the
I am
seepage.
in the shadow of the burrito, as I say.
Yeah.
Lapping it up. I love that.
Yeah.
I love our burrito times.
Yeah.
I like, you've got a surprisingly sharp soprano range.
Thank you so much.
I like that.
You like that?
I do.
Why do you clutch your ears in agony when I sing?
That's how I show that I'm liking it. When I'm in the juju, I clap my old ears and I say, "Oh, please, Jesus, make it stop."
It just makes my showers more like disturbing. Like it's one of the few times like I try and get a bit of peace in it, but then you're there
I'm there.
against the glass of the shower screaming.
Just a,
Yeah.
But I think you kind of do it a little bit to yourself in that you shower with a solitary lamp on and pointed into the corner.
Okay, so this is a I'm asking for it situation, is
You
it?
are you're making a den of shadows, as it were, to wash your body.
Yeah.
are you not a fan of fluorescent lighting?
I mean I don't like a big light.
Right.
Yeah, I'm opposed to the big light. Yeah.
It doesn't seem like you're helping yourself here with the shadow.
I don't like the see. I'm trying to be generous with my feelings, but then it keeps coming back to that. It's me that's the problem. When like there's a literal like demon from hell here, if I can use such language, and it's my burden to keep. Like you, what about like a timeshare situation where Heather just sort of takes you for like weekends or something?
Actually, give you a bit of time to replump, as it were.
Yeah, I need to replump.
Replump.
Yeah.
Juice yourself back up, eh? You know what?
I could use a bit of attention.
Could you just?
Yeah, balance.
A balance?
The yin, yang.
I've just been skipping on sunshine for the past 20 years. So
Well, must be
look,
nice.
Yeah. And so, look, just a little bit of a come down could actually be a good thing for me.
I could. Well,
20 years. How old are you?
20. I'm 32.
The first 12, not great.
That's 12 years. so dark.
You should probably write a book about what 20-year streak of sunshine. That's
20
pretty
years.
good.
Look, it's been great. You've heard the endless summer, and I've just been following the endless sunshine.
have you been in the desert? Were you with Kat?
Do you have?
Kat and I are, Yusuf and I are good friends.
Tell him I'm still mad.
Yeah, okay, I will. Yeah, I'll let him know.
Well, I mean, okay, so maybe a weekend arrangement. You get a bit of shadow. I get to do. I might go to the beach during that time. I can become a beach person.
You could
I'm
become a
not
beach-
one at the moment.
No.
Usually, I'd like to sit in a room and write sad poetry. But maybe I could become a beach person.
Maybe.
Maybe. Get a
You
tan.
could get a tan.
Yeah. And then I might appreciate you when you come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can give you advice as to how to deal with that nasty sunburn you're going to get on your first trip to the beach.
I'll be sun safe.
You will be peeling like a fresh ripe banana.
And you'll be there to probably just like gobble it up, won't
I
you?
cannot wait.
You're gonna gobble up my dry skin.
beaming grin from the
I'm
shadow.
salivating. Oh, no. I'm sorry. We're talking about not doing that.
Yeah, but I feel like you still the winner in all these transactions. You're not making any compromises.
Nope. No, I don't think I need to. I am 3,045 years old. I've done my hard yards. I had to crawl out of the depths of hell. You know this.
Yeah, I know your origin story. You whisper it into my ear every night.
Every night.
And it sort of becomes sort of a brown noise of sorts. Like I found it kind of when Shadow isn't around, might just be like under the bed for a little while. Like I go, Shadow, come up, whisper in my ear, because
right.
I'm tossing and turning up here.
He's got a beautifully healthy REM cycle when I'm deep in the nook of the ear.
And you, of course, never sleep.
Never. Don't
Never at
even
all.
understand the concept. I am eternal.
Yeah, it's disturbing, is what it is.
It is disturbing.
But I want to sell you on this. Also good.
Excellent.
What do you know?
Look, I am falling off it a bit.
Today's Friday.
Today is Friday. I
So
guess
this could
I
be
could
the first
trial
weekend.
the Shadow for the weekend.
Weekend.
Yeah, we could.
And
I
just
mean,
sorta-
can you bring out one of your demonic hell contracts and we can maybe formalize this?
Oh, I feel like this may be something we need to go to the family court for. I'm not entirely sure how the legalities are.
The family court are sick of us.
That's true.
We're filling up the
You're
court
filling
system.
up the family court system.
Yeah,
We are.
they're tired of it.
They don't like it. Okay, I'll get one out then. Just in
Just
here
a
somewhere.
little contract.
Just, keep it.
I mean,
Can you prick your finger?
Yeah, I will. I do have my classic pricking needle here.
Yes, please get your
And that
juice
is
out.
a completely flaming contract, right?
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
yeah.
Entirely on fire.
You don't need to read it.
Oh, do you want to read?
I wouldn't mind at least like the first couple of terms and conditions.
Here we go. It says, I insert name here. Solemnly swear to endow myself, body and soul, unto the shadow demon. Do you want... That's the gist of it. It's more that...
Okay, more just legalese, just
yes,
following
yes,
on.
yes. The fine print, down
Heather,
the
your
bottom.
finger is dripping.
Yeah.
It's ready to go. I am just awaiting the contract to
That's
meet my
amazing.
finger.
You should see Marcel when I prick him. Dust comes out.
Yeah, I'm just. I mean, you say I'm plump, but there's very little juice left.
It's true. Your extremities, at least.
It's sort of like a glass half full situation.
Marcel, though, just before I do you remember signing a contract with the Shadow?
For me, it was like a birth thing. Like I was born into it,
Right.
and the rest
okay.
is drag.
Is that a parental consent then?
Well, that's a great point.
Because just a little sidebar.
Yeah.
Look, I think
Well, we can whisper again. Shadows can't hear whispers.
Shadows can't hear the whispers.
Yeah.
There's beautiful weather out.
I think you might actually have a bit of a case here at the family court. Maybe you haven't taken it, but I don't think you actually have a contract with the Shadow.
That's a good point.
Is that the home ice cream van?
I could just leave.
You could actually get.
What do you call it when like you divorce your parents?
I heard that. That wasn't a whisper. Divorce?
Oh, I was talking about someone else.
Yeah, we know a lot of divorcees.
That seems plausible. Yes.
Shadow, I have something to confront you with.
Oh, more?
I don't think that this relationship is valid. I think you've been shadowing me under false pretenses, and I want to cast you out.
Excuse me?
Oh well, Shadow's catchphrase.
a lot of sitcoms in.
Yeah.
Have never been more insulted, and you're a pretty insulting guy.
Well, I feel as if that there was no contract here. That you have just been born. You've scarred me from birth.
You see, the thing that has happened is that the contract was signed by your parent/guardian
Oh,
whilst you were
Mummy?
in utero. Yes. Yes, your mother, Brunhilde Schweindocken. She called me up one day. She said, I know you're in the desert on a horse with no name, but I need you here. I've got a nice dark womb and a spawn who I wish to curse most righteously.
Oh my gosh,
This is throwing off my whole canon.
this is completely.
This rewrites everything.
I can't believe it. You have been cursed by.
Why did my mum want to curse me? I hadn't even been born.
Have you heard the song A Boy Named Sue?
I believe Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash.
Uh-huh.
Kind of that situation. She thought, if I eternally curse my boy, he will have no choice but to strive for greatness.
Oh, yeah.
And look at you now.
That's true. I am pretty great.
You're pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, having all this darkness means that all my poetry has been
Slapping.
Yeah, it's true.
Right. You get more clicks than anybody else at the slam night.
Getting a lot of clicks on that poetry, aren't you?
But I am dropping a lot of truth. Yeah.
True
but
bombs.
to be honest though, like most of the audience have their own shadow demons.
Oh,
So I
right.
feel like I might be preaching to the
love
choir a little bit.
At
as
least the
well.
audience is doubled by anyone coming.
That I do count that. Like some of my audiences, as many as 6, 7 people. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a great time. It's like a social club. We all get together and we trauma it up.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's sort of like there's sort of like we are both sharing and that's good, but then there is sort of an ethical there's a shadowy area, if you will, where you sort of go like, is it worth sharing these things? Like, are we actually processing these properly, or is it sort of a trauma porn sort of thing? Because a lot of the shadows they seem to be getting off on it.
It does feel like you're just feeding them in a few
the
different
shadows
ways.
seem to be having some sort of weird like orgy in the corner.
Really good. It's nice. It's wholesome. See, so you've got that.
Yeah.
You know, great. And your more recent display of abstract pottery really popped off.
Yeah, I do a lot of side projects, but like the shadow is often like telling me in my ear that I should monetize a lot of these things, and that's really where the darkness truly comes in.
It's ruining every hobby.
Like, I can't just have a hobby because shadow's always like, oh, you could sell this at
make
it.
it.
Yeah,
You know, wouldn't it be nice if
get
they
an
paid
Etsy,
you?
get an Etsy store. You know.
Get on Etsy. Everybody's on Etsy. It's easy to
Well,
use.
I've seen your hair jackets on there.
I put them right on there.
Yeah.
I have sold.
Etsy wants us
You've
to,
sold?
Etsy wants Shadow wants me to like share an Etsy account, like
Yeah.
so we're both on the same Square thing, but it means that like, well, then I have to incur the fees as well.
I thought of calling it Manny and the Shad.
It's not a good name.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be trending. I see that in the future.
in the future.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
I feel. I mean, I gotta call my mum.
There's a
So
lot to process.
I would love to sort of hear maybe if mum signed the contract,
Yeah.
does that mean that she can unsign the contract?
Nope, it's binding.
How binding?
It's,
Are you saying there's no fine print?
it's watertight.
There's no clause?
I put a lot of exclusion clauses in there to say that once you sign this contract, you must accept that you can never sign another contract with a similar demon for the next 3,000 years.
Oh, non-compete,
your
a
death.
non-compete clause.
Yes, indeed.
There's a lot of demons
You're,
out there.
you're absolutely stuck. And there is. I can't believe I haven't seen any.
This has sort of been. I don't want to get too upset at being here, but this has sort of just been useless. Really, I'm trying to be productive with my time. Like, so part of the reason I came on this podcast is like, okay, what have I actually got to work on? Well, I've got to work on sort of getting rid of this demon that haunts every hour and every moment of my existence. And the fact that we haven't been able to find any solution sort of gives me the creeps.
Look, Marcel, I'll do you a solid.
Yeah.
I'll take the contract for the weekend.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll get the shadow out of your hair,
Really?
and you can just go talk to your mum, figure some stuff out. How about that?
I mean, it sounds.
I'm excited. My finger is absolutely just.
Yeah. Well,
My whole hand is covered in blood
Yeah.
now from not having covered this wound.
yeah. I feel rude that we didn't follow up on that.
Usually you're supposed to discuss opening the relationship up before we go open, but if you want to go open, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy to do.
I'm just going to flick some blood over like it's water from my fingers. I think I got a little bit on that contract, and
Hello. Oh, I like this nook right up here in your bedroom corner.
You feel that? You feel that? You
yeah.
feel that cold shiver up your spine.
cold shiver, this ominous feeling.
You know when your hairs on the back of your neck go up? That's them.
Wow. Oh, this is like nothing I've ever felt.
But it's sort of thrilling, isn't it? At the same time,
It's adrenaline inducing.
It's like, like people go in for like those those cold baths. What do you call them?
the cold plunges, the ice baths.
Yeah, it's sort of like that, but like forever.
Forever. Wow.
Well, for the weekend,
For the weekend.
while Marcel
You'll
plumpens,
come back, won't you? You'll come back and pick up the shadow, right?
Okay, yeah. What time suits you on Monday?
Look, anytime Monday, please.
I got something. I got a lunch.
Yeah, okay.
And I got to release my own podcast as well. So maybe mid to late afternoon.
Yeah. You'll come by, right?
Yeah, I'll come.
Right.
I mean, to be honest, I am already noticing a freedom, but also I don't like how free I suddenly feel.
Oh, okay, good.
You're sad, I can see.
Oh no.
Here's the thing: is that I'm recognizing that without the darkness, the contrast, that I don't really know what's good and what's bad anymore.
Well, yeah, it's all darkness for me now.
You're going to have a hair
I think-
coat.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Just in this
I
weekend.
forgot that's what I signed up for.
Just start
I think
trimming that hair.
I think that's all the time we have right now.
I got stuff
and
to do.
I think
so
you look
great.
ready just to skip out the door.
I'm looking up nice restaurants in this
Yeah.
area.
I've got to tell you the story of how I came out of hell.
I look
good.
forward to it. Do you have anything coming up soon, Marcel?
People can listen to my podcast. It's called the Comedy Writers Group, where I talk about comedy. I'm going to have a lot more time on my hands to do that.
It's going to be a lot more joyful
you can
now too, right?
check out my Etsy store as well for all my pottery and poetry and pottery, P&P. Follow me on, Instagram, Master the Comedian. You can see all my shows and things like that.
It's very funny.
That's a lovely compliment.
Yeah.
I can compliment him really, really easily now because I'm not bonded.
You're not bonded.
I mostly do stuff about my shadow demon.
Yeah. You're going to get some new material soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, thank you for both. And Shadow, I guess I can already feel you amongst me. And yeah, I'll see you again soon, Marcel.
I'm sort of jealous, actually. Can I sit in the corner and watch for a little bit? Is that weird? Or?
There's a nice
It's up to the
wooden
Shadow.
chair. Here you go.
Hello and welcome back to Friend of a Friend City. Marcel just skipped out of the room. Just absolutely, I've never seen anyone so joyful just to go out in the sunshine. But my friend Kelsey is actually here as well. Hey, Kelsey. How are you doing?
Good. How are you
That's
going?
good. I'm very well. And you brought along a friend as well.
I have, yeah.
Oh, awesome. So can you introduce us?
Yes, certainly. So I've actually been very excited to introduce you to this new friend of mine. This is ex-tropical cyclone Thomas. And he is just really an excellent, massive force on my life, massive part of my day to day, and really loves to devastate people.
Well, I mean, I feel as if I'm being a bit thrown under the bus, as it were. Buses that I am known to rock around a little bit, but some people say extra. I'm a cyclone. You don't need to be so specific. I feel
Sorry.
like sometimes people diminish me.
You don't want to be known as the low. You want to really live that.
I can be anything I want to be.
It's true. You can.
I can be all sorts of things, I can be a tropical cyclone. I can be a cool breeze. I can be a gust. I can be gusty.
It's gusty in here, I'll admit.
It is gusty.
Yeah, sorry, all your papers are flying around. Maybe think about getting a filing cabinet so you can secure. Because it's not my fault. Yes.
It isn't.
It's not my fault.
It's who you are.
But me and Kelsey, we go way back, actually. Yeah.
How'd you get to know Kelsey?
Oh, just well, when I was just a breeze, because all cyclones we start as just
Breeze?
there's a little breeze. We come out and we start getting windy, and I remember it was a swing, wasn't it? It was a little swing.
Yeah, a tire
and you
swing.
were saying, push me, and I didn't have anything else on that day, so I went for a little push, and I could be useful. Me, sometimes I'll blow a windmill.
Pump a bit of water.
Oh, do you want to talk about it? Because there's all sorts of windmills.
All sorts of windmills,
You've got your windmills for power, wind power, which I'm all for, but they also try to harness the wind. A lot of my brethren have been stolen away, you see, and their power has been harnessed by you humans. which I'm sort of hot and cold about.
Yeah.
And when I'm hot and cold about things, it means it's bad.
Yeah.
You don't want hot and cold to be
It means you're
meeting.
intensifying.
Exactly right.
I've got winds there intensifying. Yeah. So windmills, you've got the wind power. Yeah, so you sort of hit my monologue button, so I'm excited to talk about it, if you don't mind. Because also, I don't want to talk too much.
You don't talk too
much. But yeah, well, because I only come out every now and then, sometimes, it's, here's Thomas, he's coming again, and there's only so many boy ones for us as well, there's so many women cyclones.
Yeah.
So like we're a dying breed,
Pretty exclusive club, isn't it?
club.
Yeah.
Did you get to know any of the other cyclones?
Well,
you met Tracy?
excuse me, I was still on the subject of
windmills.
Windmills.
Come on.
I'm here to talk about my passions.
Your passions.
Yeah, so you've got the windmills for grain.
Oh, I love the grain
a
ones.
classic,
classic.
windmill situation. And so I'll be blowing by. I'll be blowing by somewhere like Holland, for example. They love the windmill in Holland.
We had good times in Holland, didn't we, Thomas?
We did, yeah. We've been around, actually, sort of an on-again, off-again situation.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Just through your life, Kelsey.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the tire swing times, geez, I was probably 4.5, and I was a big boned kid. I was big for my age. Not many people could push me on the tire swing. I was usually the pusher, and
always the pusher,
always
never the
pusher.
pushy.
That's right, and that's
sorry, she's crying. Let me blow that tears away for her.
Thank you. It's just, I love to remember it was the first time I really felt supported.
Yeah.
Physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
And Thomas pushed me, and then we just struck up such a genuine friendship, and we started really talking in depth about the windmill that I had at my farm, living out.
What kind of windmill was that, Thomas?
Yeah.
What sort of windmill was it? Was this gotcha journalism? Is it? Is
No,
that
I
what
was
this
just-
is?
I thought
do you
this
know
is
all
something
the
you might be
windmills?
interested in talking.
Suddenly you want to hear about windmills. Suddenly, now that you picked up all your papers, you want to talk to me, do you? I just feel like I'm getting bullied.
No,
over here,
I
Kelsey.
understand. I understand.
I mean, you brought me here
I
to
did.
sort of like we hang out, we have a good time, But I mean, I thought we were spending the day together.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And now we're here on this.
Just so excited that you were back, and been a while. I thought maybe we could do something new and come in and I'd show people how cool you were.
Well, no one really likes to record me so much because, like, I would keep blowing out audio all the time.
You too. So powerful.
You got to put a little sock on your microphone
Yeah.
to protect you. Oh, okay. Sorry for existing.
Oh, don't be like
So
that.
it was a little hobby windmill situation.
Okay.
My first windmill situation. Yeah, because I was a kid back then. I was, as I said, I was but a breeze.
a little
Dreams
breeze.
of being a cyclone. My mummy was a cyclone. My dad was the twister in Twister.
In Twister.
Yeah,
Very famous.
the one that blows the cow. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My
So-
parents also have history with blowing cows, but we don't.
Yeah,
Windmills,
it's a different
yeah.
situation.
It's different,
Blowing
yeah.
cows is actually a crime in most countries. yeah.
I can't.
You grew up
pretend.
in like a what's one of those areas where they don't think the government has any control of them, like an independent area,
a
right?
sovereign state.
A sovereign state. Wow.
Yeah, I did grow up in a sovereign state, which was really funny because the first time that Thomas, we met, and Thomas and I were good childhood chums, and then
I taught you how to whistle.
he taught me how to whistle, taught me how to blow really big bubbles. And then one day Thomas had to go. So he was just gone, and I didn't see Thomas again for, another, like, how long was it?
Yeah, I had to create a tidal wave.
Oh.
By the time he came back, he was a full-blown tropical cyclone.
Yeah, full
Wow.
blown. Yeah, so I'm getting around these days. Like, I mean, it's sort of like in those films where you might leap ahead quite significantly. Like, you watch a movie and it says 5 years later or 10 years. Yeah, okay.
I wonder what Thomas is up to. And then
Like, it sort of also invites the audience to like, I'm going to imagine for myself. It gets them involved as well. I've seen a few movies, all driving. People hate it when I come. People do not like it.
The projectionist keeps it going though.
Well, for as long as they can, and then they usually press a button, and it's everywhere I go, it's alarms. It's everyone's quick, get on get in your little attic, not your attic, your cellar door. One of the most beautiful words in the English language, as Drew Barrymore will have you believe.
Donnie Darko.
Yeah. One of the films I saw.
Donnie Darko.
Never saw the ending though. What was with that rabbit? Where was his deal?
They never explained it.
Oh, that's good filmmaking, you see.
It just leaves the audience guessing, doesn't it?
It does. So next time we met, but you didn't even recognise me.
I didn't at first. And I have always been
I blew your hat off. And your dress went up, and I was apologetic.
He was so apologetic, and then it was really beautiful because everybody else was running away, and the sirens were going, and here I was reunited with a really tender and special friend, and it feels so good. Oh yeah,
reunited because it's understood.
That's right.
Yeah, that was what we sung at the time.
You really have some chemistry, don't you?
Yeah, but Kelsey has got a reputation now because I did blow her entire sovereign town down.
Yeah.
And she's sort of known as Storm Child, Storm Kid, the Storm Comer, Storm
Whisperer?
Storm Whisperer,
Conjurer of Great Storms.
Great Storms.
A lot of nicknames for the one thing.
A lot.
There's a lot of newspapers.
Yeah.
I should know. I blew them all around.
You did.
Yeah.
You did. And, with new media, everything's about a catchy clickbait title. And that's what we could get.
So now we're doing a thing where we go from different towns and depending on your mood, it's do you want to be a hero or a villain in this town?
Yeah. Yeah, it's great fun. Sometimes we find places where they've never once had a big storm before. I really love to go way out west, out back of Burke, somewhere they've never seen rain or wind. And Thomas calls up some of his friends as Storm Boys. The big juicy clouds.
Sounds
of
problematic,
rain.
the Storm Boys, but I won't go into that.
Well, politics being what it is these days.
True.
Yeah.
They're into grime,
Okay.
They
Okay.
got a rap side hustle. But we go out
Give
there.
me a word and I'll rap it.
It does.
It does.
And we go out, and sometimes we just find the quietest town. I'll sit in the pub. They've not had rain for years. And I'll look out the window and I'll go, hey, looks like rain.
Yeah.
And Thomas blows in. And you should see.
Well, are you going to skip over the most interesting part?
Well,
you don't want to you don't want to get in trouble.
Go on.
But it is sort of a bit of a scheme that we've sort of because a lot of these places are quite desperate for a storm.
A storm.
Yeah,
It's true.
Kelsey will say $50 and I'll give you some rain.
I'll give you a blowy.
Yeah.
Well, of wind.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'm
so
blowing a storm.
you should be much clearer with what you're saying.
Sometimes that's led us astray. But otherwise,
But you become filthy rich.
I have done.
And I've made it well, as because we've got a pretty. Kelsey told me this is a pretty good deal. 10%. What do you think about that? I get 10% of every taking.
I wouldn't want to comment on a business venture that you've agreed on,
It's
obviously.
a good deal,
I
isn't
think
it?
it's a good deal.
Okay.
I mean, especially for an entity that doesn't have to worry about the current housing market.
True.
I do have to worry about it because if the houses don't get built, then how can
You
I
can't
blow
blow them down,
So
yes.
it's in my best interest that.
That does make is blowing over houses and infrastructure is that what feeds you?
Well, okay. We're talking about sustenance now.
deep.
Once again, I feel sort of cornered in a way, which is hard for wind, but I do feel somewhat cornered. But, all right, well, let's play a little game, shall we? So what do I feed off? Misery, somewhat, because with every tear that comes from a human, that tear can then be evaporated into the storm cloud, which feeds me. So misery helps. Now you might say, oh, well, what about the Monsters Inc., where the kids' laughter could also be an energy source? Yeah, okay. You're going to Monster Inc. explain me? No, okay. tears of laughter do not feed the clouds in
No,
the
it's-
same way.
it's not the same thing.
So I need tears of misery. Knocking over infrastructure, that's really good.
Yeah.
Should we talk about climate change? Should we talk about it?
We
Is
can-
this
we can
that sort
talk
of
about it.
podcast?
Look, yeah.
Because I'm.
I recently got a demonic shadow, so I'm happy to talk about anything.
Yeah, you
that's
look
just-
great, by the
yeah,
way.
thank you.
You look great. It's really bringing
It's working
It's
for me.
contouring for you. The contouring is excellent.
Sharp.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, actually, the more coal and gas emissions,
Yeah.
the bigger I get. So and then more of the Storm Boys coming out. We're dropping an album soon. That shadow of yours is on the front cover of it, which
Oh,
is
wow.
pretty
That is-
impressive stuff.
It's like a metal grime
A metal
mashup
grime
album.
mashup.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's never been done before.
never.
Like, have you ever opened a drawer of pots and pans?
I have.
Have you
yeah.
ever? Have you ever?
I've opened a drawer of pots and pans.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Yeah, because you know some people will open that up and go, "Oh, that's a fresh sound," and I've taken that to heart.
You've taken that.
Yeah.
Which,
Sampled
I remember the first time that we kind of came across the sound as well. Thomas was in this real, like, blowy, sucky kind of phase of
Yeah.
generating the storm. And the
Once
Storm
again, the
Boys.
language you choose for describing me is just
It's how normal people speak.
Okay.
I'm an educated woman. So the blowy sucky part of the storm was happening. Thank you. And the Storm Boys were there starting to get the wet on. And Thomas sucked out this drawer, just sucked it really hard. And the drawer was full of pots and pans, and it came out, just made this cacophony of metallic
And I was like,
slapping.
"Oh, hold on. Oh, what's that? That's the fresh sound."
Is that something?
Yeah,
Is that something?
Is that something? Oh, it'll just play that back. Play that back.
And so he did the blowy part, blew the drawer back in, and then sucked it back
Sort of
out
like
again.
a real-time rewind situation.
Wow.
Yeah, and you do it in and out a few times.
And it was great. And there were some SES workers there because, naturally I'm the one person standing in the middle of a
Yeah.
building getting blown in the cyclone.
one of the SES workers held up their phone and said, "You know that fresh sound you've been looking for?" Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got it.
And then we got it. Yeah.
I don't know who he was on the phone to. They're all volunteers, which
Yeah.
is great.
it's true.
So they could be anyone. They could,
Yeah.
yeah,
Give him
But
back.
someone out there is looking for that fresh sound.
for that fresh
Yeah.
sound.
So, do we do plugs at this part? If people can pre-order the album, are people doing physical
what's the album
media
called?
still?
Yeah, people could.
Did I not say the name of the album? Let's say it on 3. Do you want to count down?
1, 2,
Oh, I thought we'd do 3, 2, 1.
fuck. 3, 2, 1. Storm.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
It's called
Yeah, look, one word. It's
Well,
engaging.
it's
Yeah.
one word,
Yeah.
but then you flip it over, and then there's a track listing.
Yeah.
Name a track. Say a number. I'll tell you what the name of the track is.
Okay, what's
'Cause I
it-
can
what's-
remember them all. There's 8 tracks.
What's your fifth track?
The 5th track is called "Suck Me Down."
so classic.
Do you have any interludes in it? What's your sixth track after?
Or you like your little sketches,
Yeah,
you mean,
yeah.
like an old rap albums. Yeah, we've got some skits. We've got some skits. Yeah,
We do.
we love that. We love doing a little skit on there
Yeah.
as well, because like what we love is that like if you're enjoying the music like in your car, that like what people really want is it to be interrupted by a little
Exactly.
a little
skit.
sketch
Exactly.
that they thought was real funny
Yeah,
at the time.
because as well, like we're musicians primarily, but we also try our hand at a bit of sketch comedy.
Yeah.
We're creatives, really,
Yeah.
more than anything. And this album, it's pretty fun. There's
It's
a
actually
little-
mostly skits.
It's mostly it's kind
Yeah.
of like the Wizard of Oz told from the perspective of the storm.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a concept album.
Yeah,
I
and if you play
suppose.
Dark Side of the Moon at the same time as our album, it actually syncs up.
Yeah.
Because our album is mostly Dark
Dark
Side,
Side
of
of
the
the
Moon.
That's other moon.
Yeah, it syncs
Plus
up.
the pots and pounds.
Yeah.
Pan sound.
Well, don't diminish us.
Don't- no.
Like, we're more than Dark Side of the Moon plus
We
pots
are.
and pans.
We also overlay that with War of the Worlds, the radio program.
Yeah, because people will listen to our album and go, uh-oh, Is there a war of the worlds?
Oh,
And that's what we want. We're sort of pranksters as well because we also, part of the skits, we do prank phone calls because we're bringing that back as well.
bringing it right back.
And people
Bring
will,
the Jerky Boys back.
people will answer their phone. They'll go, is there a wind on the other end of the line? You know, you have heard of wind-up calls. We do wind-up calls.
We do wind-up calls. I think that they've just somebody's dropped their phone into a long tunnel, and then the phone somehow
And we're
called
cracking
them.
up. It's mostly us cracking
It's
up.
mostly us cracking up,
We
isn't it?
just,
Yeah.
but people love to just hear people cracking up.
You get about like 3 seconds in, and then you're just
we're
up,
we're
right?
cracking up because we're very funny.
We are.
Yeah. So 8 tracks,
Yeah.
2 songs, Dark Side of the Moon, Pots and Pans, mostly.
Mostly.
But we're also bringing our own spin.
We are. It's fresh.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever done anything like it before, I don't think.
And we're doing the Wu-Tang thing.
Yeah.
Where
You're selling a single album?
we're selling a single
One
album.
album.
Yeah. $1 million.
Yeah. $1 million. And then we're going to tour
Yeah.
for.
Which is probably, I had a problem with Kelsey because if we're selling the one album, no one knows the track except that one customer. But we're going to hopefully sell some tickets, mostly by invading other pre-established concerts that are already happening.
Yes.
And then the Storm Boys and the Stormbringer will come in.
Yep.
Have you seen X-Men?
Yeah, I think
So Kelsey has a sort of a suit that is aerodynamic,
Very
and I
tight.
can sort of lower her onto the stage like a sort of harbinger.
Yep. And I'm like, no strings. It's very impressive. Yeah.
And the audience,
usually try to show that off.
I do.
Okay.
and the audience is going crazy.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, and I think it's because they're excited.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
People scream, oh my God, I'm going to die when they're the most excited.
yeah, exactly. That's what they said. Beatlemania.
Yeah, exactly.
When all those Beatles came out of the ground.
Yeah. I certainly saw a lot of knickers in the air.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, that's true. I did eat many of them.
You did.
Yeah. So sorry, I was choking for a second there. So then the concert starts.
Mm-hmm.
I do the lighting as well because I'm blowing the lights around. So I do a whole sound and light thing.
Yeah.
And
Do any of the Storm Boys throw some lightning in there?
hell-
you bet they do.
Hell yeah.
You bet. And only minimal casualties.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. How many last time?
3.
Three, and somebody lost a leg, which
Yeah.
I
Which
think that's
is
pretty
good. It was found in Lost and Found later
Yeah.
on. Yeah, but it does bring up the issue that I am doing sound and lighting. I am the roadie of sorts. I am
Doing
doing a lot of the
lots.
You're
mixing.
doing a lot of the
Yeah.
work here, aren't you?
just 10%.
and you're lowering Kelsey down into this to
yes.
really
I'm
be an
also
effect.
doing a safety. I'm a rigger.
You're a rigger as well.
Yeah.
okay. I feel like we're
Can we negotiate?
kind of stepping into some territory that's like you and me time.
I mean, I was overhearing the previous segment. I don't want this all to come back to contracts all the time. But
I mean,
I will admit, 10% for the amount of work you're doing does sound like you're getting a bit of a short shrift.
hey, but talk about like exposure. For one, I'm the face of the band. For two, because I have a face.
The audience are the one suffering from exposure.
That's
the storm.
okay. All right. Touche, Thomas.
Yeah, I'm smart. I've been around for a long
He's
time.
been around for a really long
I was
time.
once a breeze.
You've blown around a lot of schools, haven't you?
I've blown around a lot of schools. That's correct.
Look, what if we could settle on 12 and a half?
12 and a half my way.
Like you get 12.5% of about $45 because that's how much we're going to charge for our one album.
What? I thought we were doing $1 million thing. You don't think people
Well,
will? You don't
with
think someone
inflation-
you don't think someone will pick up?
Pick it up. Actually, you have Elon Musk's number, right?
How many people
I mean-
does this go out to?
I'd hate to just bring this back quickly, but Kelsey was charging $50 to an entire township for rain, which, I mean, that's their entire economy, and you're
It
only getting
is.
$50 out of it. It's not the greatest business deal in the world.
You see, there's bullying that keeps
This
coming.
is kind
There's
of bullying us, huh?
See, the $50 is sort of a starting thing. You
Yeah.
sort of like, and you give them just a few drops for that 50.
Okay.
So you go, yeah, but did you like those few drops? I bet you'd like a few more
do.
drops. You know, what do you reckon?
I
$60.
say, yeah, 60. Or I say, like, give me a SKUI and $150,
Some
and I
beer
might,
nuts.
might blow the shed over.
Yeah, then we start getting into threats, don't we?
do.
When they say, "Oh, I've already got my water, my lawn is watered," you know that, and that's not
tank's
a
full.
euphemism.
No. I remember that time though. They were like, "My water tank's been full. We had a big storm, and then you went, how's this for a big storm?" and blew the water tank down the road.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was pretty funny.
That was pretty funny.
And I took a big straw and I drank it.
Drank you right up,
Yeah.
and then we
And I
went
said,
to a different town.
sip your water tank." Yeah, the reference to a film.
It's a reference to a
Yeah, and by the
I
end
sip
of
your
that,
milkshake.
we had what, like 4 schooners, and we had $350.
so you might say that Kelsey sort of has it made in a way, you know.
Yeah.
And like a lot of it is like the friendship that we
friendship.
have as well. Like I really shouldn't be too hard about money and things like that because at the end of the day, like you sort of got to focus on like friends and stuff. And
Love.
a lot of my friends have come and gone. You know, they come. They're in the eye of the storm for just a mere moment, and then gone again. You
Kelsey
know,
stayed with you. It's
always been in my eye.
100%.
Yeah.
I am solid matter.
Yeah, ever since I came back into the picture, you know, we were inseparable because if you do move, you will get whipped up and torn to
torn to
shreds.
shreds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So it's very delicate balance, but I think every real important relationship is a delicate balance.
And boundaries.
And boundaries,
Yeah.
like the boundaries of the eye.
Yeah.
I can't step outside, and the boundaries
But
of...
why would you want to?
Exactly. I was going to say boundaries of our love, right?
Yeah,
our
exactly.
platonic friendship.
It's platonic. Yeah, okay.
I mean,
Okay. Yeah.
there's a bit of
okay. I thought. I thought.
I mean, it
I
sounds
thought
like
this
you're
was
being
going somewhere.
it sounds like you're being sucked and blown around a bit.
it's true.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's not like we're not like official or something.
No, I just... Should we have a chat? Should we talk about this?
Look, yeah, I'm very, very worried about this podcast turning into couples counselling.
It's the couch, I think. I sit on this couch and all of a sudden I want to tell you that my mother never showed me enough attention, you know?
Yeah, well, you mean you were stolen away by a storm.
Yeah, but she could have written.
That's
you know.
true. Yeah.
Could have
I
called.
guess she was pretty angry
mean,
about the sovereign state being
I could-
demolished.
Yeah.
Maybe she did right, and the letter's just been swept up. It
True.
could be in any quarter of my the cone.
The cone, yeah, the storm cone is a pretty significant barrier to
Yeah, but I
paper
actually
post.
have a system. I have
Yeah.
a system. Okay, I look messy, but there's actually a whole system in
Yeah,
place.
it's true. It's true.
Yeah, some of Heather's papers are now in there as well. Sorry about that.
Oh, well.
Finders keepers, losers weepers.
You might get a couple of calls from Combank saying there's been activity in your account.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, and that's I do that. That's how the storm blows.
I think I am going to have to call my insurance company after this. Does look a bit of structural damage.
I get a percentage of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get a little cream off the top.
Oh,
This is why 12.5 is really like a
That's
good
true.
deal.
You know, I have all
You
sorts of
other
income
avenues.
streams. Yeah,
I can do literally nothing else. I'm contained within you.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry, honey.
That's all right,
Yeah.
babe.
well, I think that's about all the time we have for. Do you have any time we have today? Do you have anything coming up, Kelsey?
Oh, goodness. Yes, I've got... So I'm part of the Tuning Forks at Big Fork Theatre. We do shows every month. I'm in Thank God You're Queer with the Brisbane Comedy Festival, which is coming up in May. Very exciting. There's probably other things that, you know...
I'll be there.
You'll be there. I mean,
Thomas
it
will be
doesn't.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, really whipping it up.
yeah. Wow. Biggest fan, right?
You bet I am.
Yeah. Ah.
So, yeah,
Great.
about to blow up.
Well, thank you both for coming in. Please just try not to destroy anything else when you're on your way out.
No promises.
I figured there wasn't.
We're probably going to take the roof off, I'll be honest.
All right. And thanks everyone for listening.